Howdy there, YouTube. It's Father Freedom 1776 here. Making this video for my friend Darkcrysis. We've been talking about a few things, and just got tired typing. I'm not that great at it, so I decided to make this video. I haven't made one in a while, and this will be my first one on the Father Freedom channel. We've been touching on 4th of July Patriot. Some of you might know him. Some of you also might know him as Charles Dyers. Ex-Marine, Patriot, also been charged with some very serious crimes. I'm pretty sure one of them involved a child, and I know that one of them involved ordnance that was supposedly stolen from the military. I can neither confirm nor deny the validity of these allegations that have been brought against them. I hope that they're not true. You know, the weapons charges, you know, it's, if he stole it, then yes, it was wrong. You know, I don't really feel that, you know, I feel that some of the weapons laws that have been levied against us are unconstitutional, but I do not believe in thievery, you know, so if that is true, then shame on him. And if the charges involving a child, you know, if those were true, then, you know, yeah, he deserves whatever punishment comes to him. I personally myself do not believe that he did these things. I support him and I wish him well, and when he beats these, you know, we hope to get him back out there doing what he does best, you know, educating the masses, you know. So okay, on a lighter note, you know, we was talking about barrel twist 1 in 16. There really is no best barrel twist. Depends on what you're using it for. The benefits of a 1 in 16, the barrel life is going to be very, very long. Faster barrel twists tend to usually wear a little bit more on your barrel, depending on what kind of barrel, what company you get. You know, some are better than others, you know, so don't beat me up over, you know, well, I got 20,000 rounds through my upper and it's a 1 in 8, whatever. Okay, I understand that. But typically when you go with a carbine type, you know, 16-inch barrel, maybe even shorter, short-barreled rifle, things like that, your 55 grains, you know, they really rely on their velocity, you know, for their static shock and their tumble effect, you know, which really puts the hurt on the intended target. But you lose a lot of that velocity, a lot of that static shock, when you shorten the barrel down to 16 inches, which is why it is a good reason to go with a faster twist. That way you can stabilize heavier rounds, you know, putting more hurt on the target. Still, you know, I prefer usually myself 1 in 7, 1 in 8, maybe even a 1 in 9. My range gun is just a 1 in 9. It's a Bushmaster. I like to do a bunch of weird things to it. Just put different little attachments to it, and you can, I took my rail off and put a couple things on it here that I'll show you, that even if you just want to do something very, very cheap but effective, you can do it. This is my Bushmaster optics ready platform. As you can see, it looks kind of weird. It's alright though. Safety check. Bagwell's empty. Chamber's empty. Safe. First thing you probably notice is this big hunk of metal right here. Had an old gas block laying around, mounted it on there, drilled and tapped it, put a DPMS Mongrel front sight on it. Works good. Gives me a nice little extended eye relief here. The light is just a cheap, well, it's not really too cheap, it's a Polytech. It's not great, but it ain't, you know, it ain't the best. It's not a surefire. Held on by a GG&G attachment. The rail, as you can see, is just mounted kind of on the bottom. Just goes through them holes. You bolt it on there. Very simple. You can do a setup like this. I do have a single point sling attachment on there. I do recommend the Magpul ASAP. I have that on my other build, and it is a phenomenal sling, especially for transitioning shoulder to shoulder with your rifle. Setup like this can be accomplished for, you know, depending on where you live, what your product prices are, probably a little bit over $1,000. You know, I like to keep things very simple when it comes to a home defense weapon. So try not to overburden yourself with too many things. Um, as you may or may not know, in a high stress situation, especially one like home defense, self defense period, war type environment, law enforcement. If you um, yeah, sorry, my son's acting up a little bit here. Um, Usually in them type of environments, your fine motor skills are the first thing to go. Gross motor skills take over. So the more stuff you have either on your rifle or your shotgun or on your pistol, decocker levers and safeties and hammer releases and all that other stuff, that's more stuff. It's more training. It's more stuff you need to beat into your head to be proficient with. Can you do it? Yes, absolutely. I know people that run H&K pistols with decockers and all kinds of other stuff on them, that are very, very proficient with it. I like my Glocks. It's simple. It's straightforward. It has a trigger, and that's it. That's what I like. Um, Not taking away, anything from any other, gun brand. We do own a couple other a couple other handguns, firearm companies. They're, really great too. Um, with the implication of a rifle, with a woman like my wife, for example, the one thing that I have learned is make sure that they are very involved in the build. Um, have them more or less test out different products. If you know somebody who has a AR or something, have them let her fire that. See what she likes, what's comfortable for her. I had, tried to impose a lot of things on my wife, like, well, you should get this, 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 and this. It didn't work. She likes what she likes, and it works for her. It's very efficient, and she can put rounds on target when need be. And that's really what it comes down to, is whatever works for you. Just because you see somebody on YouTube that has, this kind of decked out AR doesn't mean you have to have it too. If you just prefer just a standard, original everything, that's fine. It'll still work as long as you can work it. Put the work in and train it. You know, Overall, you can get a lot of money, like we was talking about, invested into an AR build. I, to myself, don't worry so much about the money. It's more of a weight factor. When we're out doing running and gunning exercises, the last thing I really want to be doing, is toting around a 12-pound weapon, with all kinds of unnecessary things on it. Can I do it? Yes, absolutely. I just choose not to. So I hope this is kind of insightive a little bit. Like I said, I'm not very good at these, so hopefully I don't get ridiculed for this too much. So I just want to give everybody out there on YouTube a big hello from Father Freedom 1776. I'll be making some more videos here shortly, taking you guys out to the range, showing you a couple different little things I like to do. And I want to give a big shout out to all of our servicemen and women at home, overseas, law enforcement officers. A big shout out to anybody who has taken an oath. I want to make sure that we make sure that they realize and remember that oath that they took, and that their oath is to the people and to the Constitution, not to their commanding officer, not to their CO. And remember, where your allegiance lies at. Remember who pays your bills. So, Darkcrysis, I hope this helped out a little bit, man. Hit me back. Let me know if there's anything more I can, get into you with. And just want to give a big shout out to everybody. Hope everything's going good out there, and long live the Republic.